What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. We got a 4-game Wnba Saturday night slate. It's a really good slate. I've been looking at pricing and stuff. Really excited for this one. Sadly, 5K to first. Our 10K dreams may be dead. The showdown did not fill the other night, and usually when one of them doesn't fill, they start lowering the top prize, which, I mean, this is still a really good contest. I'm happy with it. I would just like to see bigger contest, but what can you do? One thing I will say is Draftkings, I am thankful to just be playing, because last night in the middle of the Washington-Phoenix game, when I went to record for the showdown video for tonight's game, Indiana and the Sparks, I got banned for location hopping for some odd reason. I don't know what was going on or what, but it took them about 12 hours to get back to me, but when they did, they got everything resolved. It was a problem on their end, so just happy to be playing. I am free, so I'll have a lineup in the showdown tonight, but the 3-gamer from Thursday night, I of course was all over Bree Jones. My lineup did come through. I was taking down the satellite for the $164 Queen of the Court qualifier, and Van Loo hit a 3 with 1 second left, a meaningless 3, and it pushed. So I split with a guy who had different lineups. We just ended up on the same point total. Really sucks. I thought I had it in the bag. I was up by like 10 points with a minute and 20 seconds left. I had Shakira Austin and Natasha Cloud. He had Van Loo, and Van Loo caught them. Just really frustrating, but, I mean, it is what it is. Let's look at the odds for the 4 games. They only have 3 out. We have the Liberty and the Lynx. We got a smaller showdown for it tomorrow midday. But we got Fever Aces, huge spread, 14.5. Mystic Storm, 8.5 point spread. Wings Mercury, pretty much a pick 'em. That game is going to be a lot of fun. I know the Fever Aces just run, and I mean their offense is just so powerful. You got 172.5, but I really like this Wings Mercury game. The game they're missing is Connecticut and Chicago. I don't know what that spread will be. If I was guessing, it's probably going to be 7 or 8.5. But it's in Chicago, so it may be a little tighter than that. But let's start on the Connecticut side, and we'll go through here and see what kind of value we can find. Alyssa Thomas, 12K. She still ended up with 41 fantasy points. She played 44 of a possible 45 minutes due to overtime. She was busting hard and ended up getting there. I mean, she's still almost 4x her salary. I mean, she is just as consistent as they come. The peripherals really weren't there this game. I mean, only 12. If you're considering the peripherals aren't there and she gets 12 of them anyway, that just shows what her ceiling really is. I mean, 60 is her real ceiling. Love her in this spot. It's a great matchup for her. I don't see how Angel Reese can keep up with her, but we'll see. Stranger things can have happened. Reese looked pretty good guarding Stewie at times. Dewana Bonner, you kind of know what you're getting out of her. If the peripherals are there, she's obviously got tournament winning upside. She's going to score around 20 real life points a game. 3-point, she started hitting a couple threes this last game. Only shot 12 field goals. I expect that number to go back up some. Perfectly fine with her at 9,500. Carrington down to 8,100. She had a really rough game. Got limited a little bit because she wasn't playing very well. So another team we got to watch. If they're not playing well, could lose out on some minutes. The Sun really shook up their rotation quite a bit. But let's talk about Big Mama Bree Jones. Still only 7,600. And the minutes have been ticking up. And, yeah, we got a little lucky. She did play a couple minutes because of the overtime. But that's not the end of the world. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even show how many extra minutes she played. But that's not the thing. The big thing is 13 field goals attempted. She was much more aggressive on the offensive end. She was way more involved in the game. I think this price is $1,000 too cheap because I am expecting her to play 27 to 28 minutes tomorrow, and the matchup is good, and I'll probably have some shares of Bree Jones. Just how it is, she's a good fantasy point per minute player, and when she's healthy and right, she's very, very good DFS player. Harris played 38 minutes, 12 fantasy points. Shot wasn't falling. She offers nothing else unless her shot is falling. If you want to play her and you think she's going to hit her threes or score 15 plus real life points, be my guest. I can't pay $6K for that. Mariah Jefferson, a DNP. That is not good and very scary on this bench guard rotation because we're about to talk about the other ones. Olivia Nelson-Ododa, a DNP. I mentioned it before the last game when I said I flag planted Bree Jones because she has been playing so bad. They just fully DNP'd her, and every chance they got, they played AT at the small ball 5, and they actually gave minutes to Endure Fall. I'm sorry. Like, she's worse than Ododa. Like, it's going to become 30 minutes to Bree Jones, and then Alyssa Thomas plays the backup 5 for 10, in my opinion, just because they have so many bench guards and they want to go small. Bantam, first game back, played 24 minutes, 13 fantasy points. She's a 3-and-D. Not going to ever offer much peripheral upside. She did get 5 boards this last game. That's an outlier. You're really playing her hoping that she hits some threes. 4,600, don't mind that. She's going to play decent minutes off the bench. Tiffany Mitchell was the beneficiary of Mariah Jefferson getting a DNP and Dejanay struggling. Only 13 fantasy points in 26 minutes, but 4K if you think she's going to get decent run or get extended, don't mind her. No interest in Egbo. She's just not even playing. They traded for her, and I don't know why. I really feel like she should be the backup 5, at least give her 6 to 8 minutes a night. I think she's definitely a better defender than Ododa. Her offense leaves a lot to be desired, but, I mean, you don't really play her for her offense. On the Chicago side, Marina Mabrey, been absolutely electric to start the season. I love her for tournaments. She is always a great tournament play. She always comes in low owned, and anytime she is over 9K, she can pop. She didn't shoot the ball well the first 2 games of the season. She shot the ball well this last game, 8 of 13. But this is what you're really looking for. 13 peripheral stats, 16, 12. If she's going to pitch in 12 plus peripheral stats every game with her scoring upside, she makes for a great GPP play every slate that she's on. Love her for tournaments. Elizabeth Williams, 28 minutes, 25 fantasy points, whatever. She didn't have her normal 10 stocks, but she's fine. 8,700 is a little steep, but she's always going to be low owned. Nobody ever really clicks her. Reese, 8K. She plays to about a point per minute average when she's on the floor. She's not shot the ball well any game this season. 5 of 14, 3 of 9, 3 of 10. But she has shot the free throws better the past 2 games, which is what she needs to do. She's always going to be a great rebounder. If the points are there and she has a good shooting night, she'll easily pay off the 8K salary. I am interested to see how AT guards her. That should be fun because both of them are uber physical. I'm really looking forward to that. We'll see if DeShields plays. Not sure if she does. Fine price point. I would expect her to play somewhere around 20, 22, 23 minutes. I'm not expecting her to continue to shoot 7 of 12 and be a prolific scorer like she has been. So temper your expectations if you do play her. Dana Evans, been really consistent, scoring 24, 25 fantasy points every night, playing 30, 31 minutes a night. She has not shot the ball well yet either. 3 of 12, 3 of 9, 5 of 14. She's got some assist upside, not much else. She'll get a couple steals here and then, or every now and then. Fine with her. Kennedy Carter only saw 18 minutes, put up 12 shots. This is the Kennedy Carter that I expected to see in the opener, and she only shot 2 field goals, which is baffling to me. She will pitch in. She's a little spark plug. She's wild and crazy, but she's a spark plug off the bench. 6 boards, 4 assists, 12 real life points, 27 fantasy points. If DeShields is out again, I really like her at 6,200. The price is going up. But when she's out there, she is not afraid to chunk it. And, I mean, she gives them instant offense off the bench. And they need it because their bench is bad. Oni got the start with the Shields out. Saw 28 minutes. Actually played half decent. She was sitting at a abysmal, 0.53 fantasy point per minute. That has went up. If the Shields is out and she starts again, don't mind her, but just you can't expect much. You're hoping for 15 to 20 fantasy points out of her, but at 6,100, it's not the end of the world. Bree Turner, just never for me. I mean, 4,800, she's getting to the point where maybe you consider her, but the minutes, 12, 13, and 15 on the season, she's just so bad fantasy point per minute wise, and she offers no offensive upside. I don't even know what to tell you, why you would play her. Lindsey Allen saw 19 minutes. Whatever. Just not a fan. I can't believe they're playing her more than Kennedy Carter. That is just baffling to me. She has 1/10 of the upside that Carter does. On a team that's going nowhere, just play your kids. Play the young kids. Isabel Harrison, not sure if she's going to be back. I would imagine if she is back, it would hurt Turner and it would lower some minutes for Oni. Or if DeShields plays, all of them are going to hurt each other. If DeShields plays and Harrison plays, it's really hard to play really anyone like DeShields, Carter, Oni, Turner, Allen, Harrison. They're all going to hurt each other. I would really just stick to Mabry, Williams, Reese, and Evans. Cardoso is coming back. Apparently June 1st is when they're targeting her to come back. Hopefully they don't have her listed at the flat men when she does come back. That would be awful. Moving on, Indiana at the Vegas Aces. Really looking forward to this game. It should be incredibly fast-paced. Clark up to 10K. That seems a little steep to me, but whatever. I mean, she is starting to come into her own. If she has a good shooting night, the peripherals are always going to be there with her. That's just what she does. She's a magnet to the ball on offense and defense. Good, solid contrarian spin up if you want to go there. I can't play Aaliyah Boston. She's just not looked good this last game. 15 minutes. I am interested to see how she does tonight. It's a better matchup going up against Brink, who has some foul concerns. But we'll see. If she has a good game tonight, I think 8,300 is too cheap for her, her talent level. But it'll all depend on how the game goes tonight and if I have much interest at all. But she's just not looked good at all to start this season. Melissa Smith, good game last time out. Still saw only 27 minutes. Fine with her. If her shot's falling, she has a little bit more pep in her step on the defensive end, and that's what you need, because if she's not shooting the ball well, she's not playing defense, they will pull her and she will play low minutes and burn you. 8,200 is a good price for her though. Kelsey Mitchell, 6,900. The price is a little too cheap in my opinion for the minutes that she's getting. All 3 games she started, she's been over 30 minutes. The usage has been there. I really don't mind her if that's a last piece in for you. She has big scoring upside, but she's not going to offer really anything on the peripheral side. So just know if she scores 10 points, she's going to kill you. But Katie Lou, absolutely zero interest. 15 minutes the past 2 games. Lost her starting job. Just can't be trusted. I would expect her to play around 15 minutes off the bench. She is a .5 fantasy point per minute player. Not for me. I just can't recommend her. If she comes in and rips a few threes and gets there for anyone that pays $5,600 for her, be my guest. Don't know why Fagbenley is only 5,500. Minutes have been steadily ticking up for her. I've talked about her ad nauseum over the past few slates. Love her motor. Love how active she is. Love this price for her. She's one of the better values on the slate. You know her minutes are secure. They're going to play her at least 20 minutes, and she has upside to play high 20s minutes. So one of if not the best value on the slate. Wheeler at 5,400 is fine. She's going to play 15 to 20 minutes. Not the best fantasy point per minute player, but she does have some upside. I mean, here's a 21-minute game where she put up 20 fantasy points, 19, 13, 25, and 11. 13 minutes with 1. Woof. You just got to know what you're getting out of her. She's not expected to do a lot. Sometimes she exceeds those expectations, and sometimes she does not. Christy Wallace, 4,800. If she continues to start and see low 20s minutes, perfectly fine playing her for value. She's playing to the tune of close to a .8 fantasy point per minute and looking good out there. She looks a whole lot better than Katie Lou has, especially on the defensive end. Don't mind her as another value option. No interest in anybody down here. Hull's playing 7 to 8 minutes a night, but you can't trust it because she'll play and then she won't play and then she'll play and then she won't play. So really hard to trust playing her on a 4-game slate where there's other value to be had. On the Aces side, Asia Wilson is $13,000 again. She did not get there this last time. She did not 4x her salary. I called it in the Discord. I said Jackie Young would outscore her, and she did. Barely, but she did. They lost at home to Phoenix. Just don't look as dominant this year. There's definite chinks in the armor. I think they really miss Chelsea Gray's playmaking and the spacing that she brings. But Asia, I mean, nothing needs to be said. She's arguably the best player in the WNBA. Her floor is 35 or 40. Her ceiling is 60. She's well worth the $13,000 price tag. Just don't know if I'll get there personally, just with all the other plays on the slate. I mean, if you're telling me that I can play AT for $1,000 less, I'm probably just going to play AT, but maybe that means Asia is lower owned, which is always the best time to play Asia. Jackie Young, been fantastic to start the season. Her shooting is getting better every game. She played every minute this last game, all 40 minutes. Peripheral upside is through the roof with Chelsea Gray off the floor. She's just been absolutely fantastic. Once again, my favorite play on the Aces. Should just absolutely feast in this matchup with Caitlin Clark. I don't know how Clark's going to guard her. Plum, 38 minutes every night. Shooting has been not good. She has shot the ball well from 3 this last game, but shooting in general has been pretty woeful for someone of her talent. But she still put up 32, 32, and 41 fantasy points. 9,900 is the perfect price for her. She's a great tournament play. I would imagine she would come in lower owned than Jackie because people want the peripheral upside with Jackie. Alicia Clark, 6,500. Just not asked to do much. If she has a good shooting game and puts up over 10 real life points, she's going to have a pretty good fantasy game. Really just depends. Her minutes are really secure. I mean, she's going to play 30 minutes or more. Stokes, I can't do it. She had a really good game this last time out because she put up 11 points, 26 fantasy points. She's going to play mid-20s minutes, 5,100. I mean, if you value minutes, she's just not very good fantasy point per minute wise. Gus is just not getting any minutes. I don't get it. I love her upside as a player, but they're just not giving her the run that I thought they would. Kate Money Martin went from 26 minutes to 14. Did not do anything in those 14 minutes and picked up 4 fouls. So they didn't play really anyone else. I mean, Colson saw 5 minutes. Cannon hasn't seen a minute yet. They're not playing fair. So Martin and Gus are the only 2 coming off the bench. So I would expect anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes for Martin, depending on how she plays. Moving on to Washington and Seattle on the Washington side. Sykes is questionable. Not sure if I expect her to play. Obviously, we'll get news probably sometime tomorrow morning. If she plays, the price tag is not bad. Obviously, she has massive peripheral upside. She's a great defender. I would really like her for tournaments if there's no minutes limit. If she does not play, it would make me like Atkins a lot more. Atkins had a good shooting game this last time out against Phoenix. Still under 30 fantasy points, which is not ideal for 8,900, but she's fine. She'd be a good tournament play. Van Loo's price keeps going up. Back-to-back 30 fantasy point games. Would really like her if Sykes is out. The price is getting up there, though, for her upside. She wouldn't be a must play, but a perfectly fine play. Kira Austin, still on her 20 minutes a night limit. Of course, I play her thinking everyone smashes Phoenix, their bigs, and she just doesn't. She shoots 3 of 11, kind of tilting, but she has upside because her usage on offense is really impactful. I've really been impressed that they've been featuring her in the offense. Dolson only saw 14 minutes. She did have some foul trouble. This is not good for Big Mama Steph. I don't know. Her price is, if she's only going to play 14 to 20 minutes, that price is too expensive for her. Carly, once again, she's seeing decent minutes. Shot 1 of 7, put up single-digit fantasy points. This is her floor. This is her ceiling. What Carly will you get if you play her? I personally just can't play players that are scoring dependent at this price that have really, really decent floors. Actually, she doesn't even have a decent floor. She has a bad floor. Don't have much upside for that price. I can never click her. Leah Edwards continues to play well. She didn't have a good fantasy night, but she had a good actual game against Phoenix. She only saw 18 minutes. She didn't shoot the ball well. She was very impactful on the defensive end. It doesn't show it in the stat column, but I'm expecting her to see a little bit more run than that. They dusted off Hines Allen, who had a good game, 17 minutes, 20 fantasy points. Best of luck if you want to chase that. Walker Kimbrough, 28 minutes, 28 fantasy points. Good for her. If you want to chase that, be my guest. Please enter in all the contests I'm playing. Because the game before that, 13 minutes, 6 fantasy points. 17 minutes, 10. 14 minutes, 1. Just can never expect her to do too much. Dee Dee played 12 minutes, 6 fantasy points. Whatever. I'm not playing her, but if people are looking for cheap values, there you go. There's some right there for you. For the Seattle side, Lloyd, 11K. She finally had a good shooting game, 12 of 24. And look what she did. A 60 bomb. This is the upside that Joel Lloyd has. The shots have been there. Her usage is still ridiculous on this team. 11K is steep, but her peripherals have been insane. She's been a rebounding machine. If she continues to get the peripherals, her upside is 60 fantasy points. I mean, and she has 50 burgers in her all day long because she's a fantastic scorer. But if the peripherals are there, she's one of the best DFS plays for the season. I mean, I was not expecting her to be grabbing 8 rebounds a game. That's really impressive out of her. NECA, Come back 35 minutes, 10 of 15 shooting. She's as safe as they come. You know she's going to play mid-30s minutes and play well. She's going to score. She's going to grab boards. Have no issues playing her. She's a fantastic cash play. Ezzy 9,400. She's pretty consistent. She's going to get you mid-30s fantasy points. She's going to play around 30 minutes. You just worry about the field goals. Is she going to shoot enough to really carry you in tournament? She obviously has tons of stock upside. Skylar Diggins-Smith's been really underwhelming. Really, really underwhelming. I'm really surprised. Her shot just does not look good. I mean, she's shot the ball abysmally all season. Last game, 1 of 10. They actually benched her. Like, she got pulled. Where? She got pulled in this game. If it'll ever load. They probably don't even want us to see this. She missed the last almost 6 minutes of the game. She was just terrible. She was getting tucked on defense and could not make a shot. They benched her. That's concerning, but obviously big upside for her usage. It's still there. I mean, she's still putting up a bunch of shots. Horston, 24 minutes last time out. She was a menace on defense, 4 blocks, 3 steals. Fine, but you just got to know if she struggles, they will go to Whitcomb, and Horston's minutes will be limited. Whitcomb, minutes have been up. 3 of the last 4 games, she's played well. This is the Sammy Whitcomb that I expected to see. 3 of 9, shooting threes, 2 of 7. She needs to shoot the 3 ball. That's what she's out there for, is to play 3 and D. Perfectly fine playing her if you think Horston struggles and Whitcomb gets extended. Russell, only 9 minutes with Nneka back, no interest there. Vivian's still getting the start, only played 13 minutes this last time out. Really, really low floor. Her ceiling's probably around 20 fantasy points, which would be good for her salary. Nika Mule, only 3 minutes in her debut. Just not for me right now. I think over time she will start to carve out more of a role, but for now, not much interest. Now for the best game of the slate, in my opinion, the late night hammer, Dallas at Phoenix. Dallas, oh boy, here we go again. But let's start with the positives. Arike is playing massive minutes. She's going to put up at least 20 shots a game. You just hope that her peripherals are there. They haven't been there. They really have never been there. But if she puts up 7, 8, 9 peripheral stats, her real life points are always going to be high. She just takes so many shots. She's such a good scorer. She can get open with or without the ball. Big upside for her at 10-7. She's just going to play the whole game. Big T, just like everyone predicted, off the bench, 33 minutes. Last time out, 43.5 fantasy points. Would imagine that was kind of a hustle issue that she got benched. I would imagine that she starts this game after coming off the bench and absolutely wrecking Atlanta. This is a premier matchup for her. I may actually like her more than Arike. At 9,800, she's a fantastic tournament play. I always like her under 10K. She always has the potential to go out and be lazy and bust for you with this 14 fantasy points. But against Phoenix, they don't have anybody that can guard her. They don't have anybody that can even stop her. If she wants to go out and put up a 50-burger, she could do it with ease in 30 minutes or less. This reminds me of when Asia went nuts on Phoenix to start the season. They went small and didn't even care. They started playing a zone. Really, really like Big T here. I think she's one of the best tournament plays out there. Billings at 7K. If you want to play her, good luck to you. 43 fantasy points in the revenge spot against Atlanta. 20 real life points, 10 rebounds, double-double. Not for me at that price. Maddie, 6,800. Saw more minutes this last game. Just fantasy points weren't there. She's very scoring dependent. She's a good scorer. I mean, one of the best in women's college basketball history, but Just not for me at that price. She's fine as last piece in if you land on her. But the way they run their rotations, it's the hot hand, so best of luck. Kalani Brown busted hard for me in 7 minutes. They just barely played her after she picked up her third foul early in the second quarter. If she starts, I would love her at 5,900, but I just don't imagine Trammell starting her over McCowan again after what McCowan just did. Uzan is fine. She saw 35 minutes, didn't shoot the ball well, but had 8 assists. If the peripherals are here at this price, you can't go wrong with her. She's proven that she's going to play bigger minutes because Trammell trusts her, and that is key with Trammell. So don't mind her at 5,800. Suarez absolutely busted as the massive chalk play of the slate. Their last game out only played 14 minutes, shot 0 of 4, 2.75 fantasy points. If she starts, I don't hate it, but you have to know if she struggles and there's no massive foul trouble for players coming off the bench, they will pull her and not keep playing her. So she is very risky, but you get what you pay for at 4,900. Sheldon's minutes are pretty secure around 15. I would imagine the longer the season goes, I would expect her to take the job from Uzan. She just offers so much more upside. She's fine at 4,400, not someone I'm going to rush to play as a value. Lou, just not seeing enough minutes. I mean, she is a fouling machine when she's out there. 3 fouls in 3 minutes, 1 and 2. I think the year off really hurt her. She looks slow and looks to be really grabby. Moving on to the Phoenix side, Clea Copper continues to be a menace shooting the ball. I mean, over 20 real-life points, except for the opener when she had 19. Usage is crazy good. She did miss a few minutes. She had to go to the locker room, only 28. I would expect her to play low 30s, 31 to 33. If she starts putting up this 11 for 20, I mean, obviously massive upside. She's going to grab a few boards, dish out a few assists. 10-2 is a little steep, but the matchup is out of this world. So have no issues playing her if that's who you land on. Natasha Cloud, been really consistent outside of this one game against Atlanta. You know she's going to pitch in the peripherals, and if she scores double digits, real life points, she has big upside. Played 36 minutes this last time out. You love to see that. 9Ks of good price for her. DT, 8,600. Seems a bit high for me. She's going to play right around 30 minutes. Really reliant on the scoring. Every now and then she'll have a decent rebounding game when she feels like it. She's fine if you land on her. I would just much rather play Cloud. She's a lot safer and has more of a ceiling in my opinion. Mac, 7,900. She's as consistent as they come. She's going to play right around 20 minutes. She's going to score 25 to 30 fantasy points. She's a good player. Like, I've been really impressed with her. 7,900 is about right. I don't mind her as a last piece in if you land on her. Sophie played 30 minutes this last game. Been around the 25-minute mark. Saw a little bit extra run. She's a great 3-and-D player. She's going to grab some boards. Don't mind her at 6,400. Rebecca Allen played 24 minutes as well. Did not do anything in those 24 minutes, so that's concerning. She always has the potential to rip 6-7 threes and get there, but she's not played very well. Sutton, only 9 minutes, got hurt. Don't expect her to play, but if she does, she would get her usual mid-teens. But if she doesn't play, I would just expect them to run Allen and Cunningham a little more. But that's going to do it for this 4-game slate. Obviously, plays everywhere. Like, there's fantastic plays everywhere. I love Brianna Jones again. I love Jackie Young. I love Big T. There's a lot of ways you can go. Of course, Fagbenley, just way too cheap. I don't mind Wallace. Those are probably the two best values on the slate. sorry for the long video. 4-game slate. Really excited for it. Hope you guys crush the showdown tonight. Good luck to everybody. If you enjoy this content, leave a like. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.